Morning, everyone. I hope you're all well. It's it's a funny old game, as they say. I'll just see if we're streaming okay on Facebook. Let's have a go with this. Like a boy whistling in the wind to keep up his spirits. Isn't that what you like, Joe? So just going on to Facebook now. Let's have a look. I've got Shika Shakti here, who loves her bike. Jolly good, Shika. And why not? There we are. Yeah, that's looking good. Let's see who's with us. Who would want to be without us? That's the question I ask. Mia. Hello, Mia. How are you? Lovely to see you, Mia. Oh, I love Mia. She's one of my ex-students, a lovely, lovely person. So I'm just waiting on the boss now, Agata. I think that's how you say it. I've never met Agata before. She's a Polish chap. Yes. Jan, good morning, Jan. Yes, it's strange times. I don't watch the telly much, but apparently there's something going on in America. I think it's like, I think it's a boxing match or something. There's two fellas in suits. Do you know what? I like the suits they wear. They're all very, very smart. But yeah, I think it's, I think the match is on later today. God knows who's going to win. And in the red corner we have, and in the blue corner we have somebody else. Ion, hello, mate. Hey, you've been saying a lot of stuff recently. Good morning. Good morning. So let's see. It's 9:59 now. I think these Polish chaps like to be exactly on time. So let's see. Where is she? No longer alone. Yes, turbulent times, in seriousness. They are difficult. But, you know, as way showers and leaders in the field, apparently what we're supposed to do is be cool, calm, and collected. Or if you like, cool, calm, and collective. And how do you do that? You just, when the stuff comes in to try and get you, you just have to breathe it away with a smile. And then go, isn't it a funny old game? I wonder what's next. And just getting on with what you enjoy with an open and flowing heart. That's my view. It seems to work. Have I got it cracked? Ooh, not in the slightest. Kuan Yin, good morning to you. I hope you're well. And those abdominal exercises that you do for 45 minutes each day, I hope they're working. we must get in touch shortly. I'm waiting on, let me see. She's not here yet. I wonder what's going on there. Maybe you'll just have to listen to me. I don't know what to do. Thomas, my boy, how are you? I hope you're well. Helen, yeah. So that's where I'm up to. I've got no idea what's going on. I realize that there's just too much to know. And so what I tend to do is just basically just see what arrives next. I almost have to see what arrives on this plate in front of me and deal with it accordingly in an open-hearted, kind, considerate and intelligent way. That's the plan. Does it work like that? Hardly ever, you know, but I'm getting a bit better at it. And good. Right, let me just see. I'm just going to reach over here and see if there's anything on Messenger. Isn't it marvelous technology? Except when it goes wrong. And some of you might say, nothing ever goes wrong. There's no such thing as an error. It's all a learning episode. Whatever. Let's see. No, I don't know. Agata, I've sent, oh, here she is. She's here. Oh, Griselda, you'll have to get down, darling. I've got a very important thing to say to people. Look, they'll think that I'm some sort of a softie. Oh, God. You can't stay there. Hang on. Let me let Agata in. There we are. Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? This is Griselda Delaney Walsh. Good morning, Agata. I'll be with you in 1 second. Right. When I've got shut of the cat. Oh, she's going. She's going. Grizzy, get down. Go and annoy your sister. Right.
Good morning. Good morning, my friend. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm plodding along. There's a bit of feedback coming from you.
Okay. Is there an echo?
A little one, yeah.
Okay, I'll try to get my give me a second.
That's okay. Just take your time. I've got no idea what we're going to talk about. You know, quantum leaping. I wonder what that is.
I'm not sure where are my headsets at the moment, so we'll try to do this way. Can you hear me now? A little bit better.
Yeah, that's absolutely great. Yeah, you've got your whole face in the camera now, like that.
That's the thing. We have the same eye.
Yeah. Oh God help us. So
good to connect with you.
Oh yeah, same to you. Same to you. I've got no idea what we're going to talk about, because my view is that if we set anything up beforehand, it's not spontaneous. There's a posh word.
I don't know anything, so basically it's like, who knows?
Yeah, well that's good, because I think you got in touch because, you know, I resonated with the post you put up very much actually, and the way that you use words is similar to the way that words come into my mind. You know,
which one was it?
I can't remember now. It's if it wasn't today, I can't remember. Right.
Mm-hmm. But
it was really to do
inner standing.
Yes, it was an inner standing one, and I think you were talking about a 13th dimension, which I sort of feel that I resonate with really as the Christ center. These are just thoughts that come to me, because I think the 14th and the 15th dimensions to me mean the masculine and feminine, sacred, divine aspects, you know. And where I'm up to, I'll just say this bit, and then you can have a go if you like. But what I feel is, and I don't know what it fully means, Agatha, to be honest with you, but I feel that the 13th dimension, if there are such things as dimensions, is the Christ center. Attached to that are the 12 disciplines or aspects or dimensions of what it is to be fully human, right? And I think that this connection to the heart is also connected to the 12 cranial nerves. The 12 cranial nerves are connected to the 12 meridians. The 12 meridians are connected to universal consciousness, right? And apart from that, I've got no idea what I'm talking about. so it's over to you.
It's all coming back to the same thing, like different traditions and different teachings. It's the same about activation of the Kundalini, or you go to esoteric teachings of hermetics and occultic kind of teachings and stuff like that about the cranial and centers aligned with our spine. There is like the even quotation, you can be 80 years old, but if your spine is like agile and fluid, you're like a 20-year-old. And also reverse engineering aging happens that way, because our Christed one is literally the connection of the purity of the flow that is connected to the 12 strand. I call it 12 strands of DNA. I can see now that different people talk about different things, but coming to what you said about the biblical kind of stuff, I also aligned with the entire thing that is depicted in the Bible, that Christ was like going through 12 stages, or like there is this thing about the activation stations of Christ, like the first and up to 12. Yeah. And this is the human kind of realm. And we are now as collective, like really stretched in between the old paradigm of human that we knew and the new, which is, you can call it 13th strand of DNA, is the Christed ones coming fully online. Or if you say like working with Kundalini, with certain tradition, it's like the full burst of opening of the pineal gland, which is the true connection to the Christed ones, to the corona, you may say, right? Being coronized in a way. And the 3 days that the Christ was depicted as hanging on the cross, it's like literally this method. There is a myth also about the Inanna going into the underworld and hanging on the hook and being very still, and then being taken off the hook, and she climbed up and became like a goddess and stuff like that. It's all the same stuff. All the traditions and all the teachings are talking about the same thing. 13, which is also depicted very often by the, you may say, the cabal, or those that don't want us to know about certain dimensions, or you can call it portal to ascension. Like, again, only words, and it's so beyond the words, because it's connected to the unknown. It's like pure resurrection. You need to die in this life in order to live fully and be alive. So it's what is happening. It's like literally collective dying process. You need to die to who you truly are to be truly alive as the Christed ones. So this is literally like the dark night of the soul of the entire collective. And what we are seeing is being truly stretched in between the old, and it's also like in biblical times, the Lord's wife that became like a
Pillar of salt.
Yeah, it's also like very interesting. Is that she looked into the past. Just leave all this stuff behind. Everything that you were once taught, once knew, it was generated into your mind like nothing. No memory. You're being stretched, and you fully aligned with like trusting into the new. It's like whatever happens, I'm choosing the new paradigm. And you can't know what you can't know, right? Because it is unknown. And so that's why it's like you need to really trust and have faith into this black hole, and just really stretch yourself into that. And it's not something that we need to create and like do so many like stretchings and methodologies and technique and this. It's like really deep but devotional surrender, and like really letting go. Like there is also a lot of stuff about letting go, let it go, but it's like people are like stuck in this modality of like, okay, I'm gonna let this go, and this memory and this past lives, and like you can just really drown yourself in this mud about connections to the past. It's like past is past. It does not. It's like you can literally like encode yourself. It's like I declare, I commit that I want to take all the lessons as the ascended master, or like I choose the awareness of a true master, extracted from all the experiences Agata had in this lifetime, that I had in previous lifetimes, future self lifetimes, across all dimensions, space and time, to be anchored and sealed within this here and now to push me forward. And I choose that awareness of a true master. So whatever experience you had, positive, negatives, I take the awareness of a true master. So basically the third eye opening, just take all the lessons. Don't carry the heavy baggage. Don't even like try to connect to this. Oh, there is so much shit to clean. It's like, of course we need to like clean behind ourselves, you know, what is not aligned with our souls, and you feel like it's very rigid and atone in a way for certain things. But atonement is also becoming at one with it, at one with the pain, at one with the regret, with the grief, with the sadness, whatever you want to call it. And the best thing actually for a true surrender, letting go, it's actually not calling it at all. What is it? It's like, what is it? Like, you know, this grief, this, I've got this fear, this grief, this sadness, it's also a label. It's also a definition. A toddler, an infant, that is being born. It does not name it. It just, oh, I'm crying, I'm laughing, I'm this. It's so spontaneous. It's like you need to be like children to enter the kingdom of heaven, right? Because it is so beyond the world. The unknown is also beyond the words. So even like all this stuff becomes obsolete about I need to work on the emotions. It's like now I'm working on grief and I'm gonna just write it down. It become futile in a way, because you can spend like 30 years like, you know, surrounding yourself. Okay, so now I'm letting go the grief. It's not about letting go the grief, it's actually letting this grief be. it's you know, the first wave of ascenders that they called, like, you know, the Martin Luther King or John Lennon or Kennedy or Diana and stuff like that. They were killed in a way, or Bruce Lee. They were all talking about the same stuff, becoming fluid with the emotions, with the feelings that are happening within us, and not becoming a victim to them. Because once we start defining them as fear, it's already switching the bulb in the head. It's like fear. Okay, so it's like the monsters are coming, or like this, and then the horror kind of scenes are coming, and we become very victimized by it. Also, what John Lennon was talking about with the song "Let It Be," right? He wasn't singing "Let It Go." He was teaching people, in my darkest hour, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be, because in that let it.
Oh, one of us is gone. Must have been the singing. Ah, Agata, come back. I feel lonely without you.
Are we back?
You're back.
Okay. So basically, it's like this also scenery about letting be. It's what Christ was depicted. He wasn't on the cross and saying letting go, just forgive them, Father, because they don't know what they do, because of the huge ignorance and not being able to perceive the truth of pure love that he was embodying. And he was just there. He was letting it be. It's the same with the in the myths of Inanna going to underworld. Once we start struggling on the hook, it's like wiggling with our hands and feet. It's like, oh my God, just take me, or like fighting the fire with fire. We become victimized by the fire. So basically, if we stop fighting, it's like this openness that happens, and we are being taken off the hook, but by something greater than us. And it's so simple, but it's not easy. And I know, because I went through so much myself, and I fought all the battles, and I was struggling through a lot as well. Very often what comes with this rigidness, it's addictions stem forward, or like people try to like smoke it away, or eat it away, or drink it away, or watch it away, or, you know, scroll the Facebook away, or whatever. It's like this moment of glory is when you surrender completely. You let it be. You don't check your Facebook. You don't look for any answer. You're just being left in this darkness. And if you can do it yourself, or go to a person who can hold the space, and I'm not saying like from this light worker perspective, oh, it's like, let's hold the space. It's like you really need to be qualified and go through that yourself to be able to experience that, to embody that possibility, to hold that space for another, to fully be able to go through that. And what I like to talk about when it comes to like this trauma healing and working on emotions and past lives, I'm really not big fan of it, because it's like the more you seek of that, the more you're gonna get that. And it's end of seeking. Just let everything be. How simple was the message? And the message was so simple, and it was so dangerous that Lennon was literally taken down because of it, and many others. But now this wave cannot.
Oh, You've gone again. Just me and you, Griselda. Oh, that's nice. That's nice, Daddy. Oh, are you back?
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah, you're back. Yeah. No, some of the things that you've said, I mean, I resonate virtually completely with everything that you're saying, you know, and my view is that we don't have to do anything. We get done to, right, by the soul. I think complete
or even
surrender.
Undone. We need to become undone, uncooked in a way, like literally undone.
I agree with you, because I think in Kabbalistic terms, there's something called, they call it the opponent and the husk. And what I see is it's almost like a cocoon that we've formed, right, personally and collectively over eons of time. That's now, as we surrender totally and get out of the way. And excuse me one sec. What I mean by get out of the way is not try and work it out, because there's no reference to what's coming up now. You know, we can't know, you know, and where I'm up to is I see that the next 2 months or 6 weeks, we're basically going through a highly intense cleansing process. And on the 21st of the 12th, 2020, that will be sort of the rock bottom for humanity. And then I feel, and I'm only sort of talking what I feel, and then I feel there's almost like a lag phase, if you like, over the Christmas tide, right, for want of a better period. And then I can see a sharp sort of upslope then into, if you like, the Aquarian age or the Satya Yuga or all these different things. I agree with you entirely, because not only was Jesus hanging on the cross saying, just let it be, you know, because it's a process, it's a journey that all humans have to go through. But he also said, didn't he, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? So to me, I see that that was his human side that was actually then letting go to be moved into the next shift, his own paradigm shift. You know, so I see all that, you know, and I was brought up in quite a strict Roman Catholic tradition, you know, and so these things come easily to me, these sort of associations with religious and biblical texts, but I'm not attached to them anymore. At one point, I was deeply, deeply religious. You know, I was an altar boy and I went away to train to be a priest for a while and stuff like that, you know, but something took me out of there. And I can see now that one side I was being almost trained, you know, in the dogmatic way of religion. And then I became addicted to alcohol. And that released me. It showed me really about the differences between the two worlds, if you like, a 3D world and a 5D world. And just bear with me just bear with me. Hang on, just bear with me 1 second, right? You know, I think that we get hung up on words and things like that, but I'm only expressing in my words how I'm feeling, really. Over to you, Agatha.
I just want to like really honor you for what you said. It's also so important to be able to speak truth about our journey, and to be honest, only a person who was a true addict can understand what is actually going on a bigger scale, so that basically from your experience you will be able to shift and help masses. Because it's not about going to a doctor and getting a prescription for this. Only a person who truly knows how to get out of this and what is the true core of that, not just, you know, tripping the weeds, but taking the weed with its core, with its roots. It is the one that will be able to help on a more global scale. As well, I was never addicted to alcohol or drugs or stuff like that, but I had eating disorders. So basically, it's the same, like binge eating and sometimes not being able to take it in, and vomiting, like being bulimic, which like 90% of women probably go through also. But what it comes back to is, it's the same. It's like this connection. It's like we feel we have the whole literally emptiness, like the swirling kind of whirlpool in our solar plexus region, and people are so unable to attend to that, because we are not taught how to fill it in with pure love, connection, with letting it be, because nobody believes that basically it's like, oh shit, we can shift like entire trauma experience, which is literally coming from divinity and being disconnected from the source. This is the true grief that we are grieving here, just being on earth. Is actually, it takes nanosecond or split of a second. Sometimes we are like this 1 second away for the next like 30 or 40 years that we give in to that impulse of going into that self-release for a while, that we try to suppress those feelings, and it just spirals. It's taking us in a vortex. It's like alcoholic would say, just one sip, and then we end up like drinking everything that is in the house, and then just going to also to the shop, and it's not, it's just really wired. It's like, it's the programming. It's like in the Matrix, they just push a button within you, and you just need to go through the entire vortex, like literally. So what is being done and what you did with the work that you did for yourself is like the scene from the Matrix where Neo is up from this, like, you know, bath or something, and it's like stripping all this like connection from his spine, like 12 dimensions of like human kind of programs, pam, 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 and going through the wormhole into the darkness, deepest dark, in order to become purified. And he wakes up as new. I remember I had a life-changing experience in Bali almost 3 years ago, when after working on a conference under the umbrella of New Earth Nation with Sasha Stone, and talking about scalar energy, free energy devices that we have already to be brought into the public, and we had since 100 years, since Tesla, that I've been studying fiercely since I'm 10 years old. And basically what happened to me when I was like coming back from this conference on my scooter, I had an accident, and I came out of my body. I had an almost clinical death and came out of the body as pure light. Just there with light beings, whatever you want to call it. And seeing my hands like doing etheric surgery on myself, getting the message that it's not my time yet, that apparently I will live for a long time. There's lots of work to be done still in here. And then just really like going back into the body with a little bit of like hesitation. It's like, really? It's really pure. It's like you're in this, it's like you don't want to let go of this state. It's like this state of the heart that's taking
Yeah, you've gone again.
It's like crystalline DNA activation. He told he spoke that basically we came here to do even more than he did, because once we become fully embodied in that frequency, that we are all one, you cannot harm one another. You cannot be you see, you are the mirror. It's like everybody is a pure master and teacher. Everybody has a message, and basically if you harm another, it comes back very fast, especially with this in these times. But what I'm saying, we are pure light, and it's not like a, you know, I'm a light worker, hey, it's like I don't believe in this shit, to be honest, because in order to be a pure light worker, you need to be a dark worker first. And know how to navigate these dark waters, because there is no light working without being a fierce dark worker and knowing how to swim in those. I'm going to share a very, very fast experience that maybe will give a picture of pure embodiment of who we truly are. And this is something that I had in 2012. I was working in Glastonbury back then. I lived in Ireland for 9 years, and it was the higher calling. I was coming very often to Glastonbury, to Avebury area, and was called to be in Tor Mountain And yeah, I wish I met Amanda back then. I didn't know Amanda Lawrence back then. But we were probably on the same wavelength, you know, doing the work from the spirit, from the guidance that we are called to do. But basically, in Ireland, I had the experience when deep in meditation, I shifted into the state where I was shown how we are born, like it's coming from not even like nothingness, it's just pure blackness, like there's nothing there, like nothing. This is the nothingness that everybody scares from, because in truth nothing ever happened. Like our life is between one breath and another. So basically I felt myself as that. It's like you want to call it like a big bang or whatever, from this nothingness, after a while, like I don't know, like a desire came or something, and I was just formless awareness that wanted to create. And from that formless something, I saw myself creating, oh, galaxy here, a planet here, some bugs in here, some water in here, some fire, like literally creating a life, like being like working in a hologram of, like, you know, like having a like paintbrush and just creating stuff, stars. And then in deep space, I saw myself hanging like in a space suit of like the human kind of vessel, human body, which was pure blackness and emptiness inside. It's like no bones, no cells, no veins, nothing. It's just pure blackness. And through the root channel, through the womb, you want to call it, there was a huge infusion of pure light, like stardust or whatever you want to call it, like the rainbow or whatever, just light, like light, pure light. And it was the most orgasmic experience, blissful experience I have ever had in this lifetime. It just, you cannot comprehend it. It's just it's just pure grace. It's like bliss, like being in pure orgasmic bliss of pure love. And then I saw the earth and my hands holding the earth, and coming back to the earth, and also sensing the density on the earth, and like this, oh Jesus, okay, it's like, and I'm not saying I'm special. We are all that. We all came through that, for that, and we are all here to really realize that we signed up for this earth school in a way, and we all were holding this earth before coming in here to become the workers in here, to leave the leverage of light and stuff like that. I also I'm gonna say talk about maybe a different way, allegory of a train, that we are all now in the train, but people are lost in the stories of different compartments, and we are now entering the waters of the of being the corridor of the train, right, which is a common ground for everybody who wants.
Hello. Alak mohod da dich noch jiri betaktish. Inati ho tikasa ma duai. Jiji. Sada won tekrakse kram hu tara ma khatasne ge. Mut aknu hot as et gik. We keep cutting out a little bit. So
Okay. Hey, did you speak in different language? Okay, cool. That was, yeah, really important. Yeah, very good.
No, I'm right with you. You know, I resonate with everything. I can feel what you're feeling, and you know, during my drinking, at the end of my drinking, I tried to take my own life, and it should have been successful. But what happened to me was, I was almost found myself at the gates of heaven, and it was almost as if the gate of heaven opened, and this head popped out to say, "Yes, can I help you, please?" And I was saying, "Let me in, I've had enough," right? And he said, "No, you're not ready yet. You're not ready. You signed up for this, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to be with you now, and you're going to turn around and you're going to go and tell your experience and your strength and your hope to people. And we're going to show you, right, that through your recovery process, you will help other people. So just explain to them the steps that you go through, right? And maybe they'll like to take similar steps to extract themselves from the situations that they've put themselves into. Because I honestly believe in total and utter personal responsibility for the choices that we've made and the consequences of all those choices. I believe that wholeheartedly, because I can see now. And to me, that's why we're all here. It's about free will choice and realizing the dignity of choosing and the dignity of accepting the consequences. I know that. And on your vision of, you know, I got in that vision of being turned around, I got the stillness, the peace that passeth all understanding. And I was handed an algebraic equation that represented how the world was formed. And I see that darkness, that total darkness, I see that as the womb of the mother, because to me, I can see that creation started off as the sacred feminine. And now this is just stuff that I see, you know, and it was almost as if that the masculine had only a small part in it. This is a little joke, you know, some smaller than others. And it was almost like the masculine, right, in an immaculate conception, provided the spark for creation to take place, you see. So to me, I see that in a human sense, it can be sort of related to the Big Bang, you know. So we have a Big Bang there and a Big Bang here, both creative processes, really. Just let me say this next bit. And then I also had the vision of standing away with my hands on the earth, shouting, "Come on, children, playtime's over. It's time to come in and have something to eat." And so I see that the world is like a great big playground with all of us human beings in various parts of the playground. There's some people over there playing war games. There's some people over here dressing up dolls. There's some people over here doing arts and things. There's some people over there doing scientific experiments. I think that there's basically 12 different groups of activities that people fall into. So if you want to call those archetypes, and this just comes to me generally on a Monday morning when I wake up. And it takes me a bit of time to sort of process it. But my feeling is, Agatha, is I'm trying to show people where I've come to. And generally speaking, it's out of that complexity of the story that you talked about and into the simplicity of being and just allowing the joy to come up and come out through what you call the heart of hearts. Because I believe that the heart is the organ of the soul, and the heart is the bit that's being contracted, like an anemone, you know, in the sea. Yeah. When danger comes in, the anemone goes whoo, and it comes down. Now it's for the anemone to stay out now and observe everything that's going on and go with the waves of experience. Over to you, old chap.
Thank you for that. I really resonate with that story. Yeah, it's beautiful, and you've got very beautiful insights, very similar but different in a way. Yeah, and what is happening at the moment with the allegory of the train that we spoke of, the common ground, the corridor is the terrain of the oneness, you may say. So it's like pure beingness, presence, right? It's just awareness, but it's not the ultimate truth. But it needs to be embodied first before going up, because people will go haywire, crazy, mental issues, psychotic issues, neurotic issues. And I know, because I went through that as well. When I open up too fast, in a way, too much, it's infinite. It's like it's infinite. So you need to really first abide in certain stages. There is no skipping levels, in a way. There is no time. So it's like all those people, other versions of ourselves very often say, it's like, oh my God, am I too late? Am I, or like, you know, getting scared. It's like, it's too late for me. It's like I should have done. No, there is no time. There is no too late in the arms and the grace for those who are willing to take the steps, to commit to take this self-responsibility that you spoke of and choose which wolf we're gonna feed. What you spoke of about your vision and saying to children, come and eat. It's literally about this nurturance. It's like you need to nurture this inner kid, this innocence, these things that are awoken within you. Embody it. Be in pure presence first. There is a Buddhist saying I really love. If you're ready to be, if you're ready for the day, you're ready to be. If you're ready for the world, you're ready to serve from beyond being itself. Because only from beyond being is like this awareness watching the awareness. It's like the higher ground. It's like higher ground. It's not only about the being, but being shifted from the beingness itself and seeing that the body in itself is kind of like a hologram. And I also had this vision many times when I literally you cannot unsee and you know what you've been what you've seen and what you experienced. So basically beyond this body is just this, it's like whatever eye of the Saruman, you may say, from the Tolkien and stuff like that. It's literally just seeing yourself from the higher ground of awareness, watching the awareness from so being the train, not only the corridor, right? There's corridor and there is like now what is happening, which is a bit crazy and chaotic to watch, but it needs to happen because people need to go through their lessons. It's like these compartments, you know, me, I'm gonna close the door. It's like this is me hour. It's like there is no me in evolution of consciousness. It's like let's open those fucking doors, come into the common ground of like being one corridor and in pure, but with the values and virtues of embodied serenity inside, you know, sovereignty in this oneness. So it's like know who you are first. It's like know yourself, accept yourself. When you accept yourself,
Oh, we've gone again.
I accept all this shit. I accept all this shit I did. I accept all the darkness. I accept that I was a Hitler. I was also those parts. Yeah. But I choose differently because I want to have another experience. And it's also, there is a shift of consciousness. Consciousness itself is evolving.
Hello? Is there anybody out there?
No, there is just you talking to yourself, man. That's the thing.
No, I'm right with you. You know, we're on the same page, you know, certainly. My feeling is, and words are clumsy to try and express a feeling that's so huge, you know. And if I'm open and flowing, I just keep going, you know. And if I feel tense or contracted or constricted, I stop, breathe out, take a step back, and just say to my soul, what is it you're trying to show me? Because I don't feel, you know, I feel like I'm only ever, as Joe, I'm only ever scratching the surface of what's really going on, you know. And I think I agree with you entirely, is when people feel threatened, they go into what's called an egocentric contraction. The fight or flight kicks in, and they can only see a very, very small vision of get me out of here. Communicare in the Latin, because I'm a teacher and I learn these things. Communicare literally means to share. So true communication is to open and share everything. Share resources that come through us, both inner resources and outer resources, so that there can be a complete balance that takes place. And I think that we're on the way there now, Agatha. I think people are realizing that we need one another. We need each other's vibrations in this great orchestra of life so that the right tune gets played. This is the way I see it. We're all an instrument right? And we've all got a specific frequency that is a key to the freedom for everybody. I feel like the Pope now. You think I can make a good Pope, me? In nomine Patris et Filio et Spiritus Sancti. So, you know, my big thing is I became too serious and too responsible and too important. And I can see now that levity is the opposite of gravity. It's levity and lightheartedness that is the neutralizing force that will cleanse the whole world. However, when people are afraid, they become very grave, and they're affected very much by the dense energy of gravity then. So as the heart opens, more levity comes through, more levitation, more neutralization, and more freedom to think in a clearer and more expanded way. That was good, that, wasn't it? I hope this.
Yeah, well done. That's a good stream. Yeah,
your go.
Perfect. Yeah, I can really align to it. It's also like the levitation. Again, back to the Bible, which is, you know, the Christ would walk on the water because he just embodied pure light, and he wasn't carrying all this like shit within him that would make him sink in a way. So it's like levitation, being purified with light. And I truly know and believe, because I have this weird, since childhood, I see there is only here and now, but we came from the future in a way, like a starseed, whatever you want to call it. And I was denying this for a long time to myself as well, but basically we can see, we can perceive other things which are coming into the existence. And once you know certain things, you cannot unknow them. And also very often you cannot explain them to many people, because it's just innate, inherent knowing of what is coming and how things are going to evolve. And I truly know and believe that within this decade, we're going to have levitation machine, teleportation machines. We become like a pure portals, you know, of ascension once we do the work on ourselves, once we work on our shit, once we clean that. It's not even about talking about the dimensions or like fifth dimension and stuff like that, because it's also becoming very mind boggling in a way. People are like, oh my god, am I too late? Will I be left with you? Just work on yourself, just be a pure, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, love yourself in all you are, in all you did or thought you did, and then just choose to move forward. And I made so many mistakes, and I've got so many regrets as well. When I propelled this journey very high as well, I lost connection with human self, like being you know, because I've got this I need to save the world kind of crazy stuff and stuff like that, just blogging about the scalar energy, pure energy devices, about Tesla, all these things. And when I was traveling in United States, and don't get me wrong, I went through so many weird experiences, like from the movie The Bourne Identity, literally, when I was sharing stuff which were not comfortable for certain kind of facets of power. I had like black helicopters around the house in California, in Sacramento, where I stayed in, when I was sharing or blogging about something that was quite significant. Just crazy kind of stories. I worked behind the closed doors as well in the Awakened Empowered Expo in Detroit, in Michigan, with Laura Eisenhower, whose profile was just taken down also from Facebook because she broke free from the politics. She's connected to Cosmic Gaia Sophia, talking about the 13th strand of DNA from early age as well. It's like, it's very often, I know it sounds crazy because there is only one of us in here, but we are in a way those paradigm shifters, those pioneers or of new era or whatever. It's like what I've been noticing for a long time, very often targeted with lots of weird stuff happening around us, to us, but also the addictions and stuff like that, or like heavy levels of experiences in this life, embodied very often, targeted also from early childhood. it's kind of designed on purpose in a way, and we are here. We were the ones that broke free from them so that we can help others shift. It's also what is happening with vaccinations. It's like the history, it's like the cycle is back again. It's like just vaccine all the children, so you literally close their pineal gland, their crystalline DNA, and this is the new force, the children that can, you know, do so many things very fast. Not only, I'm not talking about the just the technology and stuff like that, but becoming just the pure essence of such a presence that a fully embodied, Christed oil, or whatever you want to call it, a true master can change with the presence around like 1 million of lives just by being and stuff like that. That's why very often true masters are not saying much, or it's like really just emanating the presence. Or with me, what started coming with me for the last 3-4 years is just the light language. When I literally I got sometimes nothing, I can't say anything. I studied journalism, so I speak a lot because I want to share a lot, because I still need to like use this language in a way. But I truly believe within the next 4 years, telepathy will be like normalization in a way, because this is who we are. We find each other through energetics. Like the new currency of existence is energy, is energy, the point of energy that you share. And what is happening now, okay, light already won and stuff like that, and we are shifting through, and there will be like fully enlightened civilization in 2030 or 35, let's hope. But the history and the cycles are still coming back in a way. It's like what happened in like Bolshevik Revolution 2000 in 1900s, and then even in Poland, exactly what 1989 the round table was tried to being pushed forward, you know, and 1990 and the steel curtain coming down. It's same kind of stuff now. A huge revolution in Polish cities and stuff like that. I'm not taking part in that because I can't. I'm like beyond. It's like once you see that it's one coin and you can't fight, it's like if we just all sit down and say, it's like, hey, I stop playing this game. Let's walk the middle path. You know, this middle, the same coin, but there is the middle path, which is common ground for all sides. And when we see if there are, it's like being children and playing the game with thieves and policemen.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's like, but once you get tired of it, it's like, okay, I don't want to play it anymore. Let's play something else.
Yeah,
And it just leave that. It's like if there are no thieves, there are no policemen.
I agree. I agree entirely. I know where you're coming from. I feel where you're coming from. There's a phrase that I like is, for by this time we have ceased fighting anybody or anything. You know, another phrase is, if you don't want to fight, don't get into the boxing ring. You know, and I think our choices can put us into the boxing ring, and we can't understand why we come out with a broken nose and broken ribs and everything, because we put ourselves there in the first place. I'm not saying that action doesn't need to be taken, but choices made in emotional reaction are always, in my view, the wrong choice. It doesn't mean to say that if we're in this 0 point of peacefulness and calm, it doesn't mean to say that our soul won't move us to take an action in a way, because it can see a far bigger picture. Whereas the tiny human ego that is Joe is just the mind-body complex through which the soul operates. And I'm happy about that. I surrender my body, my mind, and every part of me as a tool to be used for universal positivity and good and stuff. That's where I'm up to. And I agree entirely, you know. So people say to me, I don't get involved in what's going on out there, because what's projected out there in this 3D world is the past anyway, isn't it? We're basically shadow boxing with something that's been formed from the past. So if we can work now through an open heart and do positive, open, guided stuff, that will then become the reality that's projected on this screen. Something else I've realized is when you look in the mirror and there's nothing there, you're free. You're free. Because when there's no reflection, then that's freedom to me. This is what I had. I had this lying in the bath this morning about the reflection. You know, what's going on out there is just a reflection of what's going on in there.
It's
I
smoke
don't
and
believe.
mirrors. It's
Yeah,
smoke and mirrors.
well, that's right, smoke and mirrors. And I don't see that that's now a reflection of me because I've disconnected from that now. And I'm not really trying to fight against it. I'm just allowing the soul to create something more positive through me. That's where I'm up to. We're definitely on the right lines. Agata, do us a favor, because I mean, the why I feel I set this up is to try and help people to take simple, practical steps to be able to just be. In the 5 minutes that we've got left, have you got anything that's coming to you, or would you like to do anything at all that might help people just to, you know, see?
Yeah, there is literally there is no fighting fire with fire, and it's like the message is to truly simple, and it's been given to us by masters from thousands of years. It's literally just it's like, I know it sounds crazy, like how to be, because everybody's like how to be, but what about tomorrow? It's like, what about like there is no tomorrow. There is like literally only now, and what you choose to embody within this and now, you're gonna see as the reflection of what is outside of there, because there is truly no outside. There is only the inner world, and you are the entire world. So even the vision of like you holding the planet, you are the planet itself, and it is you. There are no rules in a way. You are the one that sets the rules. How do you feel in your body when you watch television, when you feed yourself with, oh my god, this is coming, they're gonna like vaccine us? It's like, of course you need to have like sense of responsibility and stuff like that, but if you don't feed that, if you actually choose to switch off those news and repattern yourself and refocus for seeing beauty, going and doing simple things, gardening, like I don't know, watching the flower blossom, something that expands, enhances your senses of beauty, of elegance, that will take you into the awe of the moment. I teach the breath, which is called the breath of all awareness. And I don't want to like go into methodologies and stuff like that, but basically coming back to this simplicity of breathing itself, writing down simple steps, like few steps before going to bed and early in the morning, what you're gonna do, like setting a simple kind of reflections from yourself, what is important for you in life to cultivate, the priorities, and not becoming distracted with every little bait that the mind and the thoughts want to feed us, because it's like a doorman coming to you. It's like the closer you are to full awakening, the more havoc comes. It's like every thought, it's like if you take the bait, if you take the carrot in front of the, you done, you gone.
Yeah.
So it's easy for me to say you are way beyond that, but through coming out of the matrix and seeing that you are the matrix itself and becoming this Neo that can say, it's like, no, I ain't having that. Those bullets are not coming into my picture, because I am the creator of my reality. And in this split of the second, I choose not to allow it. And the bullets go down. When Neo decided he's fucking tired of playing the game of hide and seek, run and fight. And he says like, oh, Jesus, this just doesn't go anywhere. It's like, hey, Agent Smith or whatever, it's like, I'm done. Yeah. And it was, but the certainty, 100% believe in that. You need to believe it first to see it happen. It's like, no, I ain't having it. Is it disturbing my inner peace? Yes, it is. So basically, my inner peace is my gate that I'm gonna like protect. And you said no, and this is the smoke and mirror. It's like, this is fluff, this is just fluff, I'm not having it. And you become, when you embody yourself in the state of beyondness. So if you want, for those 2 minutes left, I would be happy to speak with that, because I see things, I see codes, I get downloads from something that is beyond the language, so I can sing a little bit of the light language.
That would be lovely. Over to you.
It might sound funny for a human mind. It's kind of something like from Avatar almost movie. Ameka shaka hikala ha ya shaka hikona hello hanakama ya satyoka yosha lokasa ya anakaya shoha kamaya hana yoka yoshoka no kono kana kaya shaikasa Manakaya shohaka sahikura manakaya lahaka sakai kai manakaya shahalakana yo monosoyo Ariyanami kai nai shakali hayane Anekai, anekiani shahaya. Amenai, arianai, anekia. Amenaka shaka, shahalaka, nahala, nayamahisha. Isayani karina karuna hiyani karuna hinahi Umanaya shahala kana halaya nakaya nakaya shakaya no Munaka shakasa yoka la halaya kaya shono koyo nakayo nakamana halaka hikana saya lakanama Ariana sakana kashika sataya kamana shoka May the grace and eternal peace be with you. May the heaven be truly embodied here on earth. We are ready. I know it sounds crazy for the human mind when it started coming to me and I see holograms and, you know, it's like, yeah, it just comes from really something deep.
Alap miahat set no hot rash mahat. One antisch got a certain mahat on ektash. Na kotra pafsne het os han set nut wat macht der. Alianti kotse madje oder das som tosh ja ook nech ach oort net at. Agata, thank you so much. I'm glad that we finally connected and let's hopefully we can do this again sometime soon.
Yeah, bless you, man, for all your work.
Lovely to meet you. Have a lovely day.
You too. Every day.